Hi folks, just a very short quick video on how I wash my wool. I know there's a lot of talk out there about how you should never use boiling water, you should never go from hot to cold, and you shouldn't agitate it. Well, some fleeces that doesn't apply. So this is 3/4 merino, 1/4 Exmoor hull, and it's a fairly robust fleece. It's still very soft. But and you can see it's got the typical dirty merino tips. Okay, so I'm going to use boiling water, so I'm going to make sure that this is actually boiling. I'm going to put a little bit of this fibre scour in my bowl, so we're looking at about 15 ml, because I'm only doing a small amount at the moment. And I don't fill this too full because I want to be able to use my spud masher on the bottom of the bowl. So about half of that kettle. Trusty spud masher, wool. So I'm going to hold this in this hand with a rubber glove because it is extremely hot. And as you can see, I'm swishing it around in the water. And then I'm going to mash the tips to open out the fleece and let all that dirt out. There'll still be some in there, but we'll sort that out later. So that's the tip ends done. Okay, so generally what I do is do lots of those and then change the water and do the butt ends. So I get another lock here. I want to do enough to show you what comes out of this once it's had the tips done. So already that water is changing colour, a little bit more dirty in there, and if it's really filthy I'll put my hands in and I'll rub those tips with my fingers just to get the extra dirt out. So I'll do another little bunch, and then we'll go on to the next step. So this water, because it's got a lot of the wax content from the merino and a fair bit of lanolin as well, I don't want to just tip this down the sink. So what I do is I put it into another bowl and then I empty it onto the garden. Okay, first lot done. And if you look at the water there, you can see the colour of it. It's quite sort of creamy coloured. If I put it into a glass jar you'll see it better. So that's the colour of it. Pretty mucky stuff. So into my other bowl, and then I'm going to just flip the kettle on again, have this boiling. Now in this basket here I have the two bits that I've just done, and I've got this stuff which I did about half an hour ago, which has already cooled right down. Okay, so I haven't done the butts of these yet, so I'm going to put another little bit of water in, liquid in here, finish off with some more water. So this again is boiling, and this end I shouldn't need to use the spud masher because the butt end, the cut end, is usually just dirty with the grease and the wax. It's not usually filthy, as in with vegetation and that kind of thing. So again, swishing it backwards and forwards, and if there is some in it, by dunking it up and down like that, it actually gets most of the dirty stuff out of it. So quick squeeze, do another lock. If this is really filthy, if it's got yellow staining in it, what I'd probably do is put the locks into the bowl again with really hot water and a bit more of the liquid, the washing liquid, and then I would leave it possibly even overnight, and then the next morning the water's cold and I would rinse it in cold water just because I don't need hot. Okay, if we look at that now, you can see the tips are still quite grubby. Okay, they're not fully clean, so I want to get that out. So I'm going to empty that. Now, bearing in mind that this has just been dipped in boiling water. So this water straight out of the tap is hot, but it's not boiling, not by a long shot. So I'll do this with all of these bunches, and using running water helps to get all of this stuff that's clinging to the wool out. It actually makes it flow off through the tips. And again, I'm rubbing it underneath the tap just to open up the fibre and let that go. So I'll do that with all of the locks that I've got that need to be cleaned. Just that little bit more. And what I'm not doing with this is messing about with this out of water. I'm not trying to open it out, I'm not trying to fluff it. I'm just literally holding it under the running water, under the tap. So, that is just cleaning the tips. So because I don't want to use all of my hot water, I'll add a bit of cold into that. So that now is almost blood heat. Put it in the water, give it a shake, put that end in the water and give it a shake. So that's it, job done. Okay, not too much messing about, not using all of my domestic hot water, costing a fortune with the amount it costs to heat these days. But you can look at this, you can see it's reasonably clean. Any dirty bits that are left, I would either take them out and redo them, or I'll just comb them out at the end of the day because it's going to get washed after it's spun again. So you don't need to be too fussy with a fleece like this. That is the key. Can your fleece cope with it? Do your experiments. Try a little bit first. I do that with every fleece I get. I do a small sample, I try different ways of washing it to find out what works and what doesn't. There's no way I'm going to put a whole Shetland fleece into a bowl of water and mush it around with a spun masher. So it depends on the fleece, it depends on how you want to prepare it once it's finished being washed. The vast majority of my fleeces these days, I'm either carding them or combing them myself, and I prefer combing, so I keep the lock structure. So there you go. I'll show you the next bit, which is the dried wool. Sorry, can't switch it off with my rubber gloves on.